Tonight I'm moving like I never knew you. 'Cause in a second I forgot everything we went through. Tonight I'm dancing like I never had you. 'Cause I don't need nothing as long as I am with my crew. Tonight I'm moving like I never knew you. 'Cause in a second I forgot everything we went through. Tonight I'm dancing like I never had you. 'Cause I don't need nothing as long as I am with my crew. My crew. Tonight I'm moving like I never knew you. 'Cause in a second I forgot everything we went through. Tonight I'm dancing like I never had you. 'Cause I don't need nothing as long as I am with my crew. Tonight I'm moving like I never knew you. 'Cause in a second I forgot everything we went through. Tonight I'm dancing like I never had you. 'Cause I don't need nothing as long as I am with my crew. My crew.
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to week one, seasonal 2024 spring seasonal, that is, playoffs. This is the first week of the upper lower bracket. Groups are done. One match at least already in the books last night. ESPT beating Helios 4-1. We're looking right now at the brackets. We're going to talk about this in a little bit, but first I got to get to my impromptu co-streamer today, Smithers. How you doing?
Doing good, Wix. Doing good. Doing good. Doing good.
Smithers was nice enough to join last minute. Had a cancellation with my other guest, so you'll have to see his debut on the channel later. Uh, we're talking about the brackets here. We got. I haven't said it yet, so I'll say it. We have Infiltration and XD. That's the fourth match from the top there on week 6, far left. We're going to be on Stalingrad today. Infiltration will be Axis. Extreme Dinosaurs are going to be the Soviets. But I want to talk about this bracket real quick. So what you see here, the darker teams on the top are the teams that finish first and second in their group. They go to the upper bracket. You can kind of see it's. I don't even understand really who plays who. Like, we're gonna just follow the lines, I guess, because it's kind of complicated. It's not really like simple double elimination. But upper bracket obviously is better. You can lose more times before you get knocked out, and then the lighter teams in the bottom, starting with Syndicate, SLK, are the teams that finish third and fourth, starting in the lower bracket there. So you kind of see the group results here. Smithers, I mean, just thinking back on the groups and looking at where these teams are, were there any surprises for you as to, who finished in the top of their group and who finished in the middle?
I mean, I'm very surprised by IR. Right? I think they are definitely they so shocked. I think everybody last week with their win against WTH. Right? So I'm looking forward to see what they're able to pull off today and see if they're able to continue that winning streak against another top team. So for them, they're my big surprise, and also GBI as well. Looking forward to seeing what GBI can do, especially with their very close match against XD. So those are two teams I'm looking out for.
GBI obviously got the shaft in that three-way tie. I mean, there's like no other way to put it. With respect to the people that had to make that decision, but they had that impressive win to open up seasonal. I think that was kind of the first surprising win over Refuse. Not that you didn't think they could do it, but it was certainly a surprise on paper, that win, and then they end up in a three-way tie for the top of their group when Refuse goes on to beat XD, and they end up with a three-way tie with two of the teams getting upper bracket, one of them getting lower bracket. They didn't really have any contingencies for that, so they did just a random drawing, and GBI is the unlucky team that ends up in the lower bracket. But they are a team to look out for. I think they made some noise in the groups, like you said. And yeah, I mean, I think, like, to be honest, with respect to everybody else, I think the rest of it, the groups kind of unfolded more or less how I think most people expected. I think you hit on the two big surprises right there. Um, so yeah, today, I mean, Infiltration XD, it should be a good match. Infiltration coming off a win against WTH last week. XD finishing out groups with a loss to Refuse, which, if you're Infiltration, you're excited to get first in your group. Probably less excited to draw, who many people think is, the best team going right now in XD as your week one of the playoffs opponent. But that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I think when it comes to the map bans, I mean, that just shows you how critical the map bans are. When you have a team like XD, considered the best, like you said, going up against Refuse, Refuse gets win seven, right? And they're able to just box XD out. And so XD's fragging power is dramatically reduced. And yeah, and so Refuse can box them out and everything. And they won that game. So I think that was a big surprise from last weekend for sure.
So I'm going to transition us over here to our map
40
for
ping.
today. I got to turn down command chat apparently.
I may have to get up at 4 in the morning, but at least I have good ping.
All right, so Mr. Do bitching aside, here we are on Stalingrad. We're looking around. Not the most common map pick for competitive Hell Let Loose matches, but it pops up every now and then, and it's kind of an interesting match or map to see because you don't see it a lot. You don't really know what exactly to expect. I think. What do you think of Stalingrad as a map? Its competitive potential, and how you think it'll play out a little bit? Like what are the focuses for a map like Stalingrad?
Yeah, so at least from my aspect, obviously on the axis side, you're going to have the elevation piece, right? So that column D there, just giving axis that full hill control and visibility, kind of like we saw last night on Kharkov, or Kharkov, but I got sniped in the supply truck from 1,400 meters away. So that extra elevation of visibility down to the Russian uh, tanks coming out of their spawn and vehicles coming out of their spawn is huge, right? So at least I think the Axis had the advantage on this map. They could set up AT guns up there. Their tanks probably have better peak spots versus the Russians, right? But on the Russian side, kind of like you see in Herkin in a way, the Russian side has, I think, a better opportunity to use tanks in the mid cap, especially if it's something like Carriage Depot, right? Versus the Axis side, where they kind of have to stay up on that hill area. So at least those are the things that come to mind, at least off the bat. And obviously, Artie won't have too big of an impact as opposed to other maps, just because there's just so many places to hide and disperse your forces in this map, right? So, yeah, at least those are my initial thoughts with Wix.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything that you said. I do see a few matches on it. I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on Stalingrad, but I think you're right. I mean, it's a map that doesn't lend itself to defined lanes. I mean, you see a lot of the western side of the map and the eastern side of the map too, but to a lesser extent is these kind of semi-open fields with dotted destroyed buildings. The Axis side, there's a few factories and industrial type buildings, but the industrial and kind of residential, the more variety is on the east side of the map. And this is one of the things that can give the Soviets an advantage. The Axis have the high ground, but on the Allied side, there are a lot of these taller buildings that can, be good opportunities for, machine guns, snipers, and even in some cases, honestly, AT guns too, right? Some of these buildings you can build AT guns in the upper floors of that can really give you, your unique perspective onto the enemy. We go down here to a little closer to ground level. You can see the elevation on the Axis side, looking west here, plays big on at least the middle and bottom points. To a lesser extent, I'd say on the top point, which is rail crossing. But still there is some elevation at play and some perspectives you can get. A good take spot I like is kind of playing this spot if you're able with a real good look over rail crossing. So the elevation still does play in on that point, but maybe a little bit less so.
Yeah, I think from the Axis side, you would expect to see, or we should expect to see a whole bunch of MG42s set up today and just spraying everything from the elevation. So, and then like you said, the AT guns in the buildings. I think there's that one in what is it, B5 or B6 or something like that on the Russian side that they can put it up in the top floor, right? And I forget the exact visibility of the Axis Hill, but I know that's a pretty common AT gun spot.
So we'll see how this plays out. I'm trying to look. We're getting close to the server being full here, and we'll see a flip and get started. I think one of the things we haven't really mentioned yet, or maybe at least maybe explicitly or implicitly, but not explicitly, is truck snipes. I think advantage heavily towards the Axis. because of the hill and because of really just the openness of the map in general. So, IR, we expect, should be looking to pull a few trucks off the beginning. I'm sure they have some things prepared. There's, I just think, like, endless opportunities on the middle point and the bottom point for this hill and the top point. I mean, the top point, too, as well. So, really, any point, I guess. I named all three. You could expect to see some trucks for XD go down. I'm not sure that going the other way, they're going to have the same opportunities. For sure, coming down the hill, coming off the hill, they're going to be exposed. But that's kind of late, and maybe you can still pull a truck coming off the hill, but it's not going to be the same as infiltration way back. But we'll see what kind of routes they have. Maybe they can avoid them, but I think that's something that plays into it too. That Axis having the height advantage generally means you're going to see some truck snipes. I'm sure XD is going to have some long-range AT guns from some of those apartment buildings, looking for IR trucks, but that's going to be an interesting component here as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see just as far as XD and what kind of AT gun setup spots they have, right? How much armor IR is able to bring up to the front line safely. Of course, maybe they're able to hop from building to building, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But another thing I'm looking forward to today is see if, depending on the point layout, if IR tries to get some of those classic defensive structures built, right, like barbed wire, bunkers, etc., to see if they try to, like they did last week against WTH, if there's a way they can sort of channel XD into certain kill zones. So I think that'll be a nice little wild card today if they try to do that.
Just missing a few players here, and we'll get started. I enjoy playing Stalingrad, I think, on either side, from an armor perspective. I think it's an interesting map because of the elevation that you get. But not just that, but, I mean, it's another one of those maps that has a lot of open area, which always lends itself to, interesting armor play. Rather than either the hedge maps or the, more densely urban maps. I'm expecting we're going to see a lot of long-range tank engagements. If it's the top point, you could see some really close ones because there is a lot of cover around here. We're kind of looking right at where the midpoint is. I mean, there's the rail tracks and these walls and this big building that can kind of shield you if you're trying to push your armor up really close. This is really a point where, from the XD side especially, from the Axis side, the infiltration side especially, if you want to push tanks across, you kind of have the cover to do so, and with the trains and the walls and everything. So here you could definitely see some close range armor fights. On the other points, like Carriage Depot's like, obviously you have the trains and everything, but then the elevation comes into play. So, you're going to see earlier, right? Like the Axis tanks will be, more sniping. Maybe the Allies tanks can get up there a little bit, but it's going to be hard. Like they're going to have to kill all the Tigers off the hill and to be able to really push the point. And I think that's kind of true of the bottom point too. They're both going to require, or they're both going to have like longer range armor fights on them. You're not going to see pushing into the point probably so much unless one team gets big advantage over the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be a fun fight to watch amongst all the different train cars, because as we all have played this map, right, you can go prone and shoot at the other guy's feet, ankles, and take him out from the other end. So kind of curious to see how much of that goes on.
Yeah, that's one of the kind of interesting things about this map too, is that the bottom point and the middle point, the bottom point's a little higher up. The bottom point, I think, is like centered around like this area right here. There's not much to the strong point itself, right? Like we're gonna see the flip here in 60 seconds, but there's not a whole lot of cover in the actual circle. And then if you look up here at Carriage Depot, it's like in a lot of ways the same way. There's like the trench, there's the rail cars. It's just like not a place that you can like inhabit really, especially if Artie starts shelling that area, So I think those points are always interesting to me because then it becomes so much about the soft cap presence and soft cap control rather than like on defense just having enough people in hard point that they can't kind of knock you off the point.
Yeah, it's a good point, Wix. That's a good point. There's no real place to hide, and if you're concentrated, yeah, you're just going to get smashed by Artie. So, yeah, map control is just it's plays such a huge role in each one of these mid caps. But yeah, excited to see this map flip. See what we get.
Here we go. We gotta look for Kenderick. Oh, there he is. Was that fucking
Prep.
Alright, here we go. We're all set. Shout out to the fucking Soviet goggles. I fucking love that. Always using the goggles on Soviets. If you're not using the goggles, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Let's look at the point layout. I mean, I'm flying over here to Railway Crossing. Looks like we got a lowercase W on our hands here.
Yeah, this is fully offset for each one of them. So that's going to obviously present a challenge for the defensive squads, especially. And then just to see how each team was able to flex once the mid cap goes down to the fourth. So, yeah, this is I like this layout. Should be good.
I'm going to turn off chat. Because God knows what we're going to see. I saw it. It reminded me when we were in there, Ninja Pulver was saying this is the worst possible layout. I don't know if it's the worst or if he's exaggerating, but it sounds like probably at least it's not what they were really hoping for, at least. Pull up the map. Again.
Yeah, whenever it comes to those offset points, as commander, you always go, okay, and we have to defend essentially double the length of territory, right? Versus fully line, which gives you sort of that peace of mind that they can only attack from a couple directions. But yeah, plenty of open space in this layout for people to move through. So it'd be a challenge for both sides. What are we down for the match warm-up, Wix? What are we have 45 seconds, okay.
45 seconds, and I'm going to fly around here and just reveal all the secrets here. There's an AT gun set up here. Gazoopal and Fuse. There's another one, Map Edge here. With Spearhead and Hagrid. Look like they're going to pull some trucks as they come over the hill here.
I could have sworn that you couldn't do this unless the curtain dropped. I don't know if the game just fucking bugged or something, but
Hagrid learning more about the game every day. All right, here we go.
Hopefully life.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see what kind of truck snipes go down in the opening.
Yeah, we're going to look to AT gun shot right at curtain drop. There is a Luke's shots coming in. I'm not sure which way to look. Looks like all the XD trucks are still up. I've not seen an explosion on either side. Luke's still firing. Hit the map real quick. AT gun still, man, looks like all the XD trucks still rolling. Double Puma right below us here. Looks like they're going to try and grab some trucks a little bit later. The Luke's is still firing. Looks like he's landing on that road east of railway crossing near where the trucks are. There's a truck down from one of these Pumas, and a truck down from... Oh, looks like the second Puma might not have hit.
2 Pumas side by side down there, right? Looks like that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And there's there was 2 trucks there, but it looks like they only got one, although there's the other one. So that's 2 trucks down for XD. I'm not sure that we saw IR lose any trucks.
Yeah, it looks like all of IR pretty much has made it to the CAC sector, so...
So that was probably
What
the
a-
north truck. Yeah,
Look at that control.
That's not fucking good. XD is still capping? Like, am I stoned right now? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised about that as well.
I guess
Okay, I see. Yeah.
they have a lot of people in soft cap.
Yeah, exactly.
And IR has nobody in hard cap. I guess that's probably the difference. If IR is able to get across the road into hard cap, but still, like, it just doesn't... It just kind of looks strange to think that you see XD capping. I was like, am I on the right fucking team here, or what?
Yeah, it looks like if IR is able to close in here on the complex, then that'll pretty much wipe out everything XD has to take this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not, like... it's like almost like they're deliberately avoiding the hard cap. And you see the Artie mark, so this is Kinderic's Artie mark on the point here, but there's nobody fucking there.
Yeah, this is really strange. But maybe this is what XD planned for, is that, hey, our trucks are probably going to get sniped, so let's overload the southwest?
I don't know how you plan for the other team just deliberately like, it seems like, I swear to God, deliberately avoiding the black circle. I mean, maybe there's something they know that I don't, but for some reason, Infiltration just didn't want to go to the hard cap.
Very interesting.
So 2 trucks get
XD
sniped,
caps
still
it.
don't get capped. Like, what the... If I sound confused, I sound how I feel, because, I don't know, that just seems like a fucking huge throw. Like, why didn't you... I don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously they must have the control they want, and it seems like this fucking square of buildings is where they thought the hard point was, I guess, because there's a lot of people here. I don't know.
How many MGs do we have up there? We have 3 MGs? 4 MGs I counted in that section. What about the tank swicks? Where do we have? How many tanks
we
are
got
left on the map?
first T-34 here on the east side. We got an abandoned light tank in the hard point. Looks like IR might have found the circle on their maps because they're capping now. Sounds like that light tank went down to Santa. I mean, like, of course the hard cap's not everything. I'm not trying to say, like, oh yeah, just everybody go to hard cap. Like, of course, it's not the only thing. But, you know, when you're a minute into capping after sniping 2 of their trucks, and the other team is still capping, and you think, like, well, hey, shit, like, maybe we should go there. Like, with a couple people could have probably smug it. It had to have been close. But they never adjusted to anything. The people in the north stayed north. The people over here, like, maybe they couldn't cross the road, but that's not really what it seemed like. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like IR has suppressed the hell out of that housing complex to the south there. And XD isn't able to get to where they were, essentially. Because now... Okay, it looks like XD's slowly getting it back to their capping back.
I kind of want to find where the Panzer IV is. Is this it up here? That's a Puma in that building. I'm not sure where the P4 ended up. There's nothing at all back here. Just kind of sitting here right over the point, you kind of see the the battle going on. Still a recon tank up on the Soviet side.
Yeah, we actually have the armored TC leader over there in the hard, pushing towards the hard point. Right there by the SL. It looks like.
I think they're repairing this Luke. You're talking about here?
Oh, I didn't see the Lukes there. Okay, gotcha. Okay. But yeah, this is just going to be a close quarter infantry slugfest here with all these lanes of approach.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, this is a really interesting point. Probably the better one if you're an infantry player, rather than having to play across like the wide open expanse of like a railway area. You know, more buildings here. I guess if you're IR, like from an infantry perspective, it's tough because you got, you know, the trains, the wall, and then like an open road. And so if they have the buildings like XC does, it becomes really hard, you know, to get across just because there's that road that of open area. So I expect we're going to see a lot of smoke grenades as we do kind of right here in front of us.
Yeah.
Map edge maybe where it's a little less defended and you know, then kind of collapse south a little bit, but so far XD's kind of holding this line here pretty well. Yeah,
they're. So let's see how. I'm curious if they're just gonna leap forward and just try to drive to the train cars. I mean, when you think about it, IR's OPs obviously are going to be lined up against there. So, wonder if they can just take a T70 and run that through. But we'll see. IR still controlling the housing complex up here with just a few DC guys. Or, sorry, XT guys.
You wanted to take a look at the map here and see if there was any kind of, you know, backside attention here. Looks like they got nobody back here. One OP on the front door Crusader. Probably going to be more focused on, you know, counter-flanking the, or flanking the infantry front line here. It does seem like this complex here is a big focus for IR. You just look at how many people are here. They obviously see this as an important part. Power projection position. Probably can play tanks up here. Probably will be playing tanks up here. MGs up here, obviously. I mean, if you park trucks or you know, build Belgian gates, even you can get on the roof of this building. It actually can give you really good MG sightlines if you lay. I believe you can, unless I'm like imagining it. I have done it before, where you can kind of lay on this low side right here and look over the point without, you know, being seen easily from there. But we'll see if maybe in the long term they start maybe building something to get on that roof, because that could be a good position for them.
Yeah, it looks like it's still a pretty even fight over the hard cap. So IR is still able to maintain control. XD pushing it back a little bit, but once again, Artie won't be as effective this game versus maybe in other maps.
Yeah, anytime you see that green attack mark come up on your screen, that's Kinderek identifying where his Artie's coming down, and you see it exploding there on the train cars. So he's probably going to be moving it up and down this rail line, you know, wherever they seem to be pushing hardest from.
Nice spread from IR, though. And then looks like XD just maintained to the right side of the E column and just the F column. So no fourth cap, no fourth point pressure opportunities yet.
Yeah, we saw that Mike Squad OP get wiped. You can see they're all pushing close as you see the point flickering. Some flares go up. I was going to check in on the opening Tiger, which I saw back in this area. I thought, is he all the way back here? He's all the way back here. I said Tiger, but I meant IS-1. Holdsbeer, Cosmos, and Guerrilla Tactics. I gotta be honest, I didn't know Guerrilla could drive a tank. Never seen it before.
What do you like better, Wix, the IS-1 76 or Tiger?
It's a good question. Man, the IS-1 can be really hard to hit. It's not very maneuverable, though. I'll be like in a competitive Hell Let Loose setting, I'd probably take the IS-1. Ooh, looks like we got some shots coming in. Yeah, looks like we have the first tank battle's going on here. That was the IS-1 shot landed right near this Tiger, who I'm not sure. Yep. Cosmo still zeroing in that IS-1 gun over there. This guy doesn't... they
An airhead
moved.
plane? Airhead plane, Wix?
Nobody
Looks like
cares
it's an
who's
IR.
close. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Looks like we got an IR airhead going down on the point.
Just to finish, for comp, I would say IS-1 because it has like it's like the hardest to hit, especially if you can get it hold down. But it's not very maneuverable. But that being said, like in competitive, usually you're just like sitting behind a house and not moving anyway. So.
Gotcha. So looks like this airhead's gonna land right behind the wall, maybe wall or car. I'm not too sure.
It looks like car to me. Train cars, the cabooses, the the other ones. Got to be honest, I don't know that. Not even sure if caboose is still accurate. I don't know if they use that. Let me know in the chat. Is caboose still used in modern train vernacular? There goes the airhead. Angels with the
damn.
rocket. Do want to check in on this tank battle. We see the Tiger has retreated. Oh, he hasn't actually.
What are we working with here? Like a 900-meter shot or something like that, probably.
I can't ping. But looking at it, yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 800-ish. That looks like a turret hit. Cosmos still dialing in that IS-1 gun sight. Although he probably can't see this white pillar, which I think he hit a couple times. That's probably frustrating.
Oh yeah, those non-rendered graphics.
Ricochet off
Always.
the turret. Classic IS-1 behavior to rick off the turret. This guy's sitting here. He must have taken barrel but not turret? Because otherwise, why would he still be sitting here? Another ricochet off that looked like the turret. And another hit of the white piece of... I don't even know what that is. Chimney. Another ricochet. See, now you see why I like the IS-1, because we've just seen 3 ricochets off of I think, the turret.
Is there a repair station by here?
No, there isn't. I think that first hit had to have been barrel. That's why they stayed in. Because if it is a barrel hit... I don't see the black mark, but it was a while ago now that it hit. If it was a barrel hit, you can still survive 2 shots. So they got a hit to the turret mantle, and then they decided that they needed a repair. So.
Ooh, it looks like we have some XD guys coming in behind IR. Oof. This could be bad.
This Mike OP, that's who we saw down here earlier. Then they got wiped, but he's back. Crusader, I think it was.
Yeah,
Other
XD
than,
solely
we call it reflank, whatever you want to call it. That guy that kind of hits the front lines from the side, or in this case from the back. Lancers looks like he's kind of locking down this OP though. Unfortunately for, he's done with that. He doesn't want to spawn camp anymore. Too honorable. Excuse me? I didn't. Okay. I hadn't seen that before. But I don't really play infantry, but that's a good spot.
The ingenuity that comes up in comp scenes for MG locations always surprises me.
Well, I mean, this one's like, okay, you just like jumped onto here, but I've never noticed that in the model you could do that.
Yeah, me either. Did Mike OP get wiped? It looks like Raisin's just... Yeah, Michael P. got wiped.
I think it was just a matter of time because Lancers looked like he was farming it anyway. Northside Smoke Show still going on. I think this is going to be the whole game. Whatever squad is map edge here is going to be chucking smokes running across the road and, probably dying soon after. There's looks like there's 2 Tigers over back there. Maybe trying to double up on that IS-1. It looks like there hasn't been any change there. They're both sitting in their spots.
Do you think the armor would be able to dive and like hide behind those train cars? If the Tigers, I mean, if for the cap, I'm not too sure.
For sure. I mean, like come map edge here and get across here, and I mean, and you're kind of covered to the east, right? Like you could navigate over here with a tank and kind of like, you know, play off this house for a limited time, because they can kind of come on their map edge, obviously, and hit you. I mean, looking down here, this is, I'm a little bit out of bounds right here, but, you know, the house is in bounds, or it blocks off in bounds. But you could come up map edge and help your infantry that way. Like I said, limited time, though, because they're going to start to move their armor into position to counter you. But as long as they're sitting all the way back there, for sure there's opportunities to kind of push along the map edge and see, maybe if not with a heavy, with like a medium or something.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I mean, they seem to kind of content to just play the armor v armor game.
Yeah, there's only okay. So the XD bodies are mainly to the south here a little bit, or sorry, north of the far map to the camera. So
now seeing some attacking garrisons going on. We got a couple squad leaders, Ninja Pulver and Crusader, coming down here, maybe to try to put some pressure on Yellow House. See one of the Tigers moving over there. And the IS-1 has kind of moved too. They decided that they didn't want to just sit there and snipe each other.
Yeah, it looks like the strong point is relatively open. I mean, it's Hagrid there and Indra, and you have S-Deck down there, and then, okay, so you have 3, 4. Okay, so now there's XD spawn wave on the strong point. Okay.
Nobody probably madder about the map pick than S-Tech. S-Tech having to play with the DP, no foliage to exploit LODs on. He's just got to slum it like a regular player instead of crutch on crutch. Recon plane comes over, some supply drops going down. Just take a quick look at the sky. Not much has changed here, right? I mean, this is kind of what we saw once everything stabilized after the cap. The Allies have the train, the Axis have the buildings, and people are throwing smoke grenades.
Yeah, there was that airhead attempt by IR, but quickly got rocketed, obviously. So thought maybe we were going to see a big spawn wave off of that to push straight into the strong point, but nope, got taken out right away. And armor seems to be just too far away from the strong point to make at least a for the moment, until I guess one side feels that they have the armor advantage, right? But right now it's just a whole bunch of peeking back and forth.
Sitting on double rep stations, shooting, shot.
The life. Is that usually double rep? Have you ever had triple rep stations, Wix?
Few and far between opportunities to have triple rep stations.
Okay, gotcha.
Only if you build it yourself, because you know infantry ain't doing that shit for you.
Oh, Stuka. We got a Stuka coming in. We got a nice one to the left, I think. Did it take it down?
No.
No. Just
right next to it.
Damn.
Stuka's so inconsistent. Like, we saw that. It was like literally as close as you can get without hitting it. And okay, it didn't hit it. Fine. But I saw Stuka take out... I've seen Stukas take out IS-1s and 76s, you know, when it lands like 25 feet away. So who the... and I think, honestly, what I think it is it has to do with the elevation of where it lands. I could get into, like, the science of it, but, like, the supposed science of it. But, like, it landed, like, at the track level, but, like, maybe if the Stuka landed here and the tank was here, it might have killed it, because then it's, like, landing at hull level, so it does hull damage. Because they got tracked by that, I'm certain. And, like, it shouldn't be like that, and it didn't used to be like that, but I think that's how it is now. And it's like that with satchels, too, I believe. Like, the damage model for precision strikes and satchels is, like, broken compared to what it used to be. You used to be able to kill full-strength heavy tanks with satchels from, like, 10 meters away, 12 meters away. But now, like, you could put it right next to it on the ground and it'll only do track damage unless you put it up on something.
Mm-hmm. Can we take a look at the map, see what the fourth point pressure... Okay, yeah.
And the Garrison got taken down. I mean, they've been really good about snuffing out those... that Mike OP Crusaders had a tough time getting into the position and keeping it up.
Mm-hmm. So XD mainly, still relegated to the E and F columns there. But I imagine pushing up the hill towards the Axis side is presents much more of a challenge to not getting spotted.
Well, it's kind of the same thing in reverse. Allies got to push across this road if they want to make progress. Axis to as well. Just kind of makes it real tough.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a Panzer IV up here. Working on some infantry. There are 2 IS-1s up for the Allies as well as a T-70. Or sorry, a T-34. Mr. Doom Boss Man in the T-34. Check in on the IR Super Fob over here. They seem to have cooled on it a little bit, just the one guy, a couple guys. Tiger is, this is a good position for the Tiger. There's not a lot of good tank positions IS-1s can play to really counter him here, and he's just got a free look. I mean, look at all the little blue icons you can see. All those guys can potentially be killed if you're splashing right. You could sit here all day, all game, and get 150 kills probably if they don't counter it somehow.
Yeah, it must be. It's a nice spot where they don't have to worry about much. Looks like IR is putting more pressure towards the strong point here. But once again, they're just, like you said, they're just trading, right? Just going back and forth. They cross, they get killed. The XD tries to cross, and they get killed.
Yeah, we can take a look down here a little further south. I mean, IR's across the... I mean, they're all kind of mixed up, I guess. IR's across on the east, and you got, XD players on the west.
Got a German bombing run coming in. Assuming it's over the point.
It's got to be, like, north to south right here.
Ooh, man, this is going to be a juicy one. Oh, wow.
I don't know if they know where the garrison was, or we actually know where the garrison is. Garrison was not affected.
I think that was
right here.
This is maybe 7 or 8 kills right there he got with that bombing run.
It's pretty good for a bombing run.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say.
But I mean, unfortunately, you don't get the garrison, and look, they're all back 20 seconds later.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I first started commanding games and dropping bombing runs, I would drop them and wonder, I didn't get any OPs with that. I swear there would be OPs on the point. And then, of course, as you do in this game, you learn as you go, right? And then someone told me, yeah, you don't destroy OPs at bombing runs.
Yeah, one of the complexities of this is this game is always what destroys what and doesn't destroy what.
Yeah, exactly.
In some ways it doesn't make sense, but, like, I get it for balancing purposes. But, like, bombing runs, I mean, I don't know. Bombing runs just feel like they're rarely worth it. You have the munitions, so you want to use it, and for sure, like, it can be powerful, but most of the time, they just don't seem to be as impactful as you would think, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think average kills I get at least per bombing run is like 4, maybe 5, right? And then those 300 munitions, at least in comp games, you're totally right. I mean, usually the teams are very dispersed, especially on the maps like this, right? So the bombing run is going to have a limited effect if you're not like pushing the strong cap extremely well and forcing them to collapse on it, drop that reinforce, right? So most of the time, I just end up converting those munitions to fuel and just let Artie make sure they have everything.
Interesting little setup we got going here.
Oh, look at that. 4 Belgian gates?
Quadruple Belgian.
Damn.
So what you see, if you're not familiar, can you shoot through these Belgian gates? Yes, you could feather a shell through these. They're not, completely hard cover. Here's the problem, though. This tank is like 800 meters away. Looks like they just hit him, actually. The tank shooting it is 800 meters away. Belgian gates. If we were to see the perspective of the gunner over there.
Oh, they got him.
I mean, like that. So that's great job, but they got kind of lucky there, right? Like that's the kind of wager that you're making when you put like Belgian gates out like this. Is unless they had some information I don't want to say that they're lucky because that was a really long, nice shot. But the Belgian gates don't render past like 530 meters or something. So the tank shooting at those doesn't know where to aim to not hit the Belgian gate. Like, that's why. But obviously, like, if you don't have anywhere to go for hard cover, eventually, like, 2 shots might find their way through. And that's what we saw there.
Wow.
I think that was this tank right here. That was Boss Man. Yeah, like, at that range, there's no way that those Belgian gates showed up. Where'd they go? I don't even think we can see them right here where we are. Yeah, right there by the dead tiger. See, they disappear. So that tank's even further away. So he's just shooting at what looks like an open spot, and it's got the gates in it. And okay, like the Belgian gates are going to block a lot. We saw the gates tank like 3 or 4 shots. But if you don't have anywhere to go, as the tiger, if you don't have anywhere to go to get away from it, like eventually 2 shots are going to get through.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy. I thought they were going to be spending shell after shell.
Yeah,
just hitting those gates.
And I'm sure, I mean, like that's an experience. I'm sure they figured out exactly what was happening when shells would just appear to go right into the tank and then just stop and explode. But that also means, hey, you might as well keep firing and hoping that you can get a couple through. Just make small adjustments. I mean, those, like I said, the Belgian gates are most powerful when they can't be seen, but they're not infallible. It's not hard cover.
Mm-hmm. Can we take a look at the map real quick, Wix? Let's just see what do we got here as far as development in the 4th. Okay, so we got Mike down there again, Agad, Blue Zone Gary. Looks like we got Haval down there with a supply drop, trying to set up that deep C8 carry down there. Just trying to make something happen on their 4th.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, you don't want to sit in this. Even if you're XD, I mean, like, obviously XD is in a comfortable position here. They, they hold kind of mid. Obviously, they hold midpoint. Midpoint isn't like seriously under threat right now, but looks like we're gonna see a Tiger killing a T-34 here. Although, that's an IS-1. Excuse me. That's Bullock. Got a little bit overzealous there, trying to get to the railroad tracks, and the Tiger maybe they weren't aware was lingering over here, killed him. But sorry, XD has midpoint. Obviously, they got good control. They're not really under threat, but you don't really want to stay that way for 57 minutes because IR is going to get opportunities, and it's going to swing one way or another. So you always want to put that pressure on 4th. You don't want to just bank on this being same shit over and over again for 57 minutes, although it very well could be.
Mm-hmm. I haven't just got to see if IR, because I think IR, actually I don't know who has the armor advantage. I know we've seen a couple IS-1s, but I guess what's the fuel eco, or what's the eco for the Russians at least?
So
I forget.
yeah, we see that IS-1 that just died being replaced. They have 2 other IS-1s up, and 300 fuel with encouraged running, so they're in pretty good shape.
Okay, gotcha.
Got a light tank here on the point, True Bob and Faker. So they got 8 people up in armor, 3 heavies and a light. They got a T-34 kind of sitting in spawn, ready to use.
And it looks like Havald was killed by that supply drop down there in C8, so no go on the whammo, Gary. IR is not going to let that slip by him.
This guy, I don't know if this is the same crew, I don't remember looking, but still sitting here. I mean, really, this is kind of a naked position in a lot of ways, too, because if they were, maybe that's what the IS-1 that we just saw die was doing, the northeast angle. This guy has really nowhere to go, but, if they don't ever come from there, then he can just sit here and farm infantry all day, which they seem to be content to do. And that's a good play. I mean, that's what you want your armor doing. Like, these 800-meter tank battles are fun and everything, but, the whole idea of having a tank and being there is to kill infantry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, and I mean that, like, okay, yeah, tanks kill tanks, I get it, but you kill the enemy tanks so that you can kill the enemy infantry, right? Like, especially the way this is, the IS-1s aren't holding the point for the Allies. That's not the roadblock right now. The only tank anywhere near the hard point right now, or even really the soft cap, is this 2-man light tank. And that's not necessarily a bad play. I mean, they're playing in a position to keep their armor down, but we see the 2 Tiger. I mean, we could see something here with these 2 Tigers moving together. It looks like there's another Tiger back here as well, and a Luke's. Luke's doing weapons test, something.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to see something here with these 2 Tigers. I don't know. They're active. They're seemingly uncontested. At least for now. There aren't any IS-1s in the area. They're back pretty far. But that's what I mean when I was saying with that, like, north side push, or north side talk earlier is, you can get into a position where they have to move a long way before they can see you. And if you're able to, wipe some spawns, clear things out for infantry, like, the IS-1s, could be, late to that at that point, right? Like, because they're 400 meters back. But obviously then you're risking, your tanks against infantry, so. Do you see the IS-1 moving up a little bit here? Mr. Do, Bossman Atrocity. Probably got the information that the Tigers were pushing up, and thinking that he's got to be in the area to contest that. Not necessarily.
Did the IR tanks?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. Did the IR tanks make it into strong cap? I don't know where they ended up.
One of them is. I don't know if he's on strong cap, but he's on the. He's got to be on strong cap right now. So one of them is, yes. The other one is kind of looking here, so they might kind of have this set up where they're kind of using this one as bait and saying, if you want to pull an IS-1 up to kill this guy's going to have a crossfire onto you, which is kind of looks like what they have set up. You see the 2 IS-1s are starting to think about, maybe moving up, but they're not sure if they really need to quite yet.
It looks like that Lux is going behind the point here. We got an airhead coming down from IR, I believe. Look up. Yep, there it is.
Airhead. That Tiger did take a rocket in the back and a second rocket in the back. So this tank, I think, is not engine, but it did take 2 rockets. We see a Luke's and a T-70 doing things. Luke should be able to kill that. I don't know what is going on here. IS-1 kills the Luke's before he can kill the T-70. So we are seeing cap progress. I never updated the scoreboard. Actually, my stream has been fucked up for a little bit. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. There we go.
Looks like the artillery wiped out the main IR strong cap push.
Damn it, I had the fucking... Yeah, I had my thing was messed up for a long time. Sorry about that, guys. It's fixed now. Looks like XD's responding here to the cap pressure. What happened to that Tiger? Where did the Tiger go?
It got rocketed, I believe.
Oh, okay. The other Tiger too? Oh, he's back here still.
It looks like IR has totally gotten control over the far north of the point.
Yeah, just bench here. There, it is pretty clear. It is pretty clear. This looks pretty good for IR. I mean, like, this is a lot better than, you know, what we have seen. They're starting to get some control over hard cap. Fortunately, that Tiger going down is a bad break there. Could have put a lot of pressure on the infantry, but...
Axis bombing run coming in. Where's this one gonna go? Oh, diagonal over the strong cap. 1, 2, 3. 3 kills. 3 kills. Not sure where the Gary is though. But IR coming in with a big spawn wave.
It looks like the airhead went down. Sorry, I was fixing my OBS shit. IS-1 is now pushed up into the hard cap as well. Of course, he's taking rockets just like the Tiger did. It's tough as an allied tank against the Panzerschreck because you got, even in the heavy, you got 3 sides you can take rocket damage from, both sides in the back.
Kind of curious to see how much IR overloads the point now. Should see a big spawn wave here in a second with those OPs near the point.
I'm gonna check the map real quick here too and just see. There is a garrison down right across the road, so the garrison is still up. There's a big
IR
spawn
really,
on the bottom
IR
of this
really
thing
pushing
here.
him. Yeah, IR really pushing him from the south there as well. We see that complex that XD once had control over. IR is gaining control of that slowly, maybe, but maybe not now. It looks like they're being squashed out in that triangle area.
Looks like XD is, I mean, they're still in control here. I mean, the key is, I think, going to be getting this garrison down. Because all these OPs that are getting wiped, they're able to reset squads on this OP, which obviously isn't ideal, but, you know, you want to be able to get that garrison down, but one of the, you know, reasons they built it there is obviously it's not in a spot that is really going to be easy to take down. I mean, like, they hit back there very easily. Maybe they could from here if they knew exactly where it was, but they're gonna have to get that garrison down to, I think, really take control of this point.
Big spawn wave. Oh, what do we got there? 3, 6 bodies heading towards the strong cap.
Yeah, we see the cap pressure come in, but they gotta shut down this road crossing, which is obviously gonna be tough with the tank, but no AT alive on the point right now for IR. Although we see a catch the IS-1 out the window. I don't know if he's gonna see that, but I think if you're IR, you gotta think about getting both these tanks in there and just going for it. I think the mistake,
Yeah, 100%.
the one had was, and again, this is doing the same thing as, you know, the ass facing south. I mean, opened him up to rockets from this OP right here. Your team controls the north, so if anything, you should be trying to face south and moving that way, because you know that there's a ton of friendlies up there for you. I think these know about each other. I mean, I'm sure they have to, because it looks like they're looking for each other, but not a lot of angles through this.
There was a
Oh, there we go. The Tiger found him and ricocheted off the turret. Classic IS-1 behavior.
Tigers right in the other side of the building. Tigers.
ooh, rocket in the back.
Tigers looking right on the other. I know, but
Oh, ass gets obliterated. Oh man, IR really flooding the point here.
Nothing like infantry running up to your tank, telling you something that you already know, while you get shot in the back by a rocket. Nothing quite like that feeling. So that's the one IS-1 in the point, or yeah, that one IS-1 in the point down. We see Bullets and his tank are back pretty far. Faker in a medium. I don't know what happened to Grilla's tank.
Reinforce is about to expire for XD.
I mean, there you go, man. The IR tanks really coming in. You know, not that they did everything, but like, I mean, I said it kind of early on. The tanks were sitting back, and they had opportunities to push up. And when we saw the tanks push up, that's when we started to see IR get the pressure. And then there you go, you see a cap, and I'm going to fix the overlay right away there. And try to not fuck it up. There we go. So 2 Tigers on point, and 1 IS-1 sitting back a little bit. Not able to get there in time to help. And that's how that's one. We really saw stalemate for a long time, and then infantry started to get a little breakthrough, got their fingernails on the point, and the Tigers just kind of came in and really pushed them over the edge there.
Yep.
So let's
Did
look
the
at
Tiger
the map
go
real
inside?
quick on the. Sorry, what's that?
No, go ahead, Wix, go ahead.
There was one that was like inside this area. I don't think he was inside the building. If that's what you were asking.
Yeah. It looked like he was inside.
Did one of them go down, or did he just leave?
He's still there.
Well, I only see one. There was 2. Oh, he's right
Oh, I'm
here.
not too sure.
He died. He probably died of the IS-1 that's over there. I want to look at the map and look at the XD reset. So they got the 4 wide garrison here. Nothing else besides those 4, so they're going to have to get a network set up around Pavlov's, but nothing urgent probably brewing there. Let's see what kind of... Where am I going? Let's see what kind of AT gun we got back here. We might have like a roof AT gun just went down, actually. The old AT gun in the attic. Where the hell was it? Something just... Oh,
To the right. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. This is some of the sacred knowledge on Stalingrad. If you're not a competitive player, you might not be aware. Certain of these apartment buildings, you can build AT guns in them. And how much fun do you think that is, to be able to shoot tanks from the attic of a apartment? I just saw something explode here. I'm just going to look at this real quick. That was a Panzer IV. Not sure what killed it. Let's go back to the point, because XD is getting some cap progress going. Looks like that other Tiger died too, so uh-oh. The Tigers that we were talking about as being a big impact on the cap there have both died. And IR infantry is not really on point anymore.
Yeah, that arty strike just wiped out that entire squad. Looks like Kendrick's got a good mark. See if IR is able to respond by getting some crossfire from that complex there to the south.
So we're a little bit past halfway. Now we kind of see the IR spawns responding. Arty for infiltration looks like it's hitting just on the east side of the hard cap last I saw, I think. And XD just on the west side. So there you go. That's the 2 artilleries landing on either sides of this building.
Yeah, IR's starting to see if IR's able to close in on that southern part of the the side there.
Only
See if they're able to get some.
Sorry.
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
The only tank in the point I was just going to point out, T-34. There's a Tiger that has been over here for a while, I think. Kind of sniping. Looks like one of the other Tiger crews went into a Luke, so maybe a little bit of a fuel deficit for the moment. Or maybe just a spawn timer. So he's sitting way back here. Looks like he's got some views on the infantry from back here. I do think IR should probably get a tank back up into that spot over there they had it earlier. I really liked that spot. Of course, you got to push off it eventually, but I think that could really help them now. Even though they hold the point now, still I think there's good infantry shooting angles onto there. Was this an IS-1 that went down? No, it was a T-70 to the Tiger at the intersection. That would be right there, I think. He shot him through the wall. That's a tough
probably
thing.
always
Sorry. I'm just gonna say real quick. That's one of I've talked about the IS-1 sitting back pretty far, but that's one of the things that makes this kind of tough for them is this ground that they have to cover to get to the point, and especially with the Axis having the elevation and the IS-1 being a slow chunky bastard. It's not easy to get up there. That's why they're kind of sitting back here, because they know that they can be safe. You don't know if this tank was just driving down the road, try to get to the point, and it gets picked off by a Tiger he probably didn't see. So the IS-1s have the same issue. Just to point that out, kind of in fairness, to the XD tanks. I mean, I don't think they've been sitting back far because they don't want to be closer, but there's definitely a lot of risk to get to the point.
Yeah, and I think with that T-70, it's always with the light tanks. You think, okay, they're free. Like you used the word freemium, right? Or what was the word you used? I forgot what it was. But you had a term for those free tanks.
I think it's called them free.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But to be able to think you can run them up to the point, right? Then of course the heavy just pokes out and slams all your aspirations down, and destroys it.
Yeah, but I mean that could happen with a heavy too. That's why they got to sit back there, because it's such a risk to move up.
Yeah.
Do see some cap progress for XD coming in. Every spawn wave, it seems like it goes one way or the other recently. I mean, I do think on the XD side, they are kind of not really using this north side, and I think this is a good area to get tanks up close. Like, obviously, for them, coming through this road opening here, the IS-1s are going to have angles on it, so that's going to... This north side is free to move tanks through right now. I mean, with a couple infantry, you could sit a Tiger right here, and I mean, how powerful would this be? Sitting right here, occluded to the IS-1 positions and just watching for infantry crossing. That's
I'm wondering
what do I know?
Yeah, I'm wondering. Wonder if the reason why that's not being used at the moment is.
Sorry?
I'm just wondering why they haven't been using it, like you said.
Oh yeah, sorry. XD really has a big foothold now on the hard cap building on this side of the road, like we haven't seen in a little while. So this could be a flip here. Cap point flip back in XD's favor.
Yeah, it looks like it's going in XD's favor unless IR's able to get a big spawn wave up here. The Lux did go down, I think.
The Lukes went down. There's a Puma diving. Puma's dead. Oh, another Tiger coming in. Ooh, it flips back. Artie's really, I think, taking care of a lot of the people in the hard point here that XD keeps getting in, but that OP spawns and now it's going back XD's way.
Yeah, that one Artie shell from Kendrick just wiped out 5 people from IR.
Yeah. So Artie kind of being impactful both ways. It looked like Driv just rocketed somebody on his own team. Maybe I didn't see that right.
And we have a... Oh, IR saves it at the last second. Oh my god. But this Katusha's...
Katusha's not hitting anything.
Oh, man.
Going back XD's favor now. It's really close. See when this OP down here spawns or if Haggard can burn it. That might be the difference. Must have already been gone. Oh, IR got a big spawn over here, right where the attack mark is. You can see the attack mark is right on the Tiger and all the infantry surrounding it. That's gonna be big if you can get a couple shells to land there pretty soon. It's gonna knock a lot of the cap weight down. It looks like he might have just moved it there, but could be reinforced down again. I'm not sure, but it is very, very, very close.
Well, I take back what I said earlier about Artie not having as big of an impact. They definitely have had over this strong cap battle. It's been pretty intense.
Still really nothing going on this north side. Still going back and forth. Where'd that other Tiger go? Did the other Tiger die? Looks like he died back here. So one Tiger up here. T-34 across. IS-1's back by the apartment.
Okay, where's IR's big spawn wave at? The attack mark for Kendrick goes down.
Supply drop for allies. Look at them just squeezing away at the whole sector here. I mean, they're really just pushing them out, not really allowing them anything. They've kind of been holding on by hard cap weight, and that I think that luck has run out.
Yep, looks like XD is gonna cap here. Yep, there it goes.
Good cap back by XD. Just really, I mean, we'll look at the map again. I mean, you just saw this kind of curve front line or reverse L shape, basically. Here, just kind of squeezing them off and squeezing them off, and IR was just restricted to less and less space, and they were able to hold on to it short term. But when you start losing that much map control, it's really just a matter of time. Because I'm sure, I mean, you look at how these guys were on the point, and you just said there's no way that IR is going to be able to continue to hold on. Still a lot of time left. The Tiger here along the wall is hanging on. He looks like he's in rough shape, but he's in there.
Surprised we haven't seen an engineer run over there to try to help him out. Get those repairs are going.
Looks like we have an IS-1
but
maybe sneaking up here cautiously across the open ground. No bushes for Brass to hide in, so he's got to get a real job. Although he's using an MG, which isn't really that either. Aztec has given up on the DP-27. He said if I can't shoot through people through bushes, I'm just going to go for the PPSH. Drum magazine.
Yeah, IR still with us. This is like a solid launch-off point, right? So they are definitely not out of this. They maintain their control of the side of the railroad tracks there, and they're ready at any time to push into the point, really.
30 minutes left, and we might as well be looking at what exactly it looked like with an hour and 20 minutes left. Really, I mean, this is what this area looked like about 40 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago. So IR, I mean, in a positive way, they're reset to, you know, no worse than they were before the cap. If they can find a way to get the Tigers up in there again, then they could find themselves capping again if the few other things go the right way.
Can we take a look at the map real quick, and just see? Okay, so, yep, still relegated. No, I'm just wondering if XD had anything set up for the 4th a little bit quicker this time, but it looks like they're just, yeah, back to, like you said, map situation with an hour and 20 left to go.
Yeah, they're set up that reef link down there, looks like. I mean, they could attack from that garrison, but they're all heading north. And I think the garrison's actually going to go down. Everybody just died there. Wow, okay. So that Gary's probably going down. Two Tigers just west, looking like, you know, they're ready whenever the, you know, the call goes in that they're going to push. Well, I say that and then one of them dies. Sorry, that was a P4. Looks like it had to have been probably Bullet there catching an angle through these broken buildings. There he is. Got a little aluminum here protecting him. Some corrugated metal fencing there. Might as well be titanium alloy. Blocking tank shells. So here we go. They got Drew Bob and Faker, the Flex Boys, Holsbeer, Solo in a light tank, and the Dooman, Mr. Boss, and Atrocity. So this is kind of the first time we've seen multiple, you know, armor pieces from XD up on the point. Not always a requirement, but, you know, you got to think having a heavy tank up here is going to make the point a little more solid if they're able to stay alive and find a good spot to kind of tuck in.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the things that has to be on XD's mind, at least, is yeah, how to prevent them from getting those Tigers and just camping that side of the railroad track, right? Got to be prepared for that push next time to cut off that angle.
You see the Lux coming up. There's a Tiger here, and this position up here by the white building. I liked that they had, and I think they needed to keep somebody up there. I'm not sure if they have any other armor. It's really quiet. He got Lance. Curious how many kills he has, because this seems to be the position he's been assigned, and he's sticking with it. And I'm sure there's times where, you know, he can see a lot of people, but right now it looks like it's a little bit. He's looking for Aztec, it looks like, but right now it looks like it's a little bit dry in terms of targets. See some rockets coming in on the IS-1. I mean, at this point, I mean, like, turn around, I think, right? Like, put your ass to the map edge where nobody is. Looks like that's what they're doing, actually. I think the Tigers made the same mistake. They were pushing along this road with their ass south, and IR had complete control of the north. I mean, put your ass, your most vulnerable part to the the safest area you can. I mean, you're not always able to do that, but when you can, that's kind of what you want to do.
Fuchsia strike coming in, the randomness.
Roll the dice.
Gotta love it. Although during the game last night against ESPT, I think I got 2 Garys with a Katusha. So
With one Katusha?
no, with sorry, by using him
Oh, nice.
for the randomness of where I got him.
Can't believe that wasn't enough.
See XD slowly getting up to the train cars, but once again, they're just as soon as they cross that wall, they get wiped up there. So
Yeah, we haven't really looked too much in the south here. But I'm not sure that's very compelling gameplay down here. I want to check in right here. Okay, the tiger is dead. This tiger died. Fuck did it die to? Holy frame drop, Batman. Whoa. Nobody move, nobody move. Alright, I'm in like single digits in terms of frames. Yep, I'm on 9. I don't know what's going on. This has become a PowerPoint presentation.
okay, there we go. Looks like it's getting back normal.
A little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The IS-1 must have caught an angle. Yeah, okay. Looks like they caught an angle on that tank up there. They have an AT gun set up now, and the tank commander's kind of hanging in the house.
Yeah, it doesn't look to be.
Right here that's vulnerable. We're about to see bad things happen to him.
Oh. Okay, would you see an AT player get him with IS-1? Is he able to get a satchel on? But is that the MP? Oh. Okay, so now with that tiger going down, I'm wondering if XD will be able to box IR out from these train cars.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 tigers went down, and you can see, obviously, Mr. Do recognizing that and getting a little more aggressive, knowing that he doesn't have tigers to worry about for a little while. And I can't see any either from overhead, so... Where I say that, you know, he just died. It just died.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that AT guy must have got a satchel on. I didn't see it. I looked for it, but because there's no rocket ATs around here.
Yeah, they must have got a satchel on.
He must have got the satchel on while they stopped to kill that tiger. That's kind of unfortunate, but you see, you know, they've kept their tanks alive to the point where, okay, that IS-1 went down, but before he did, he got 2 tigers. So that's why you see now the effect is that these guys know they can move up freely. So that's why you see they're moving across the open field now, knowing that they're not going to get ambushed by a tank. Obviously, AT guns could be out there, but those are a little bit easier to deal with. So that kind of bought the opportunity to move these guys up. So, and if your XD, it looks like they already have another tank. So sure, you see them get a little bit aggressive and get satcheled, but you know, you got to spend your assets sometimes. I think that's a good example of spending assets. They got the 2 tigers down, they got satcheled, but you know, they really freed it up for these 2 IS-1s to move up, and maybe even the 3rd if they could get up quick enough. And that's going to make it, with 21 minutes left, I mean, you can't lose 2 heavy tanks with 20 minutes left if you're trying to recap. I mean, obviously it wasn't IR's plan, but you know, that's going to seriously impact your ability to retake this point.
Yeah, it's yeah, since they're able to move those IS-1s up in defensive sector, essentially, this is going to be a rough one for IR.
We'll take a flyback real quick and see what they have coming up, if anything, armor-wise. I'm looking, man. I don't. Anything over here? Anything anywhere? I don't know, man. I don't see any tanks. Oh, here we go. I was gonna say they probably should have at least a Tiger available, at least one. But that looks like it's all they have in terms of armored assets. I think there's a Luke's on point still. But it's gonna be tough to do a whole lot with that Tiger with 3 IS-1s on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. 20 minutes left to go. And it looks like XD is clearing them out. About to wipe that OP, and that will be the end. Oh, no, okay. IR still has a presence up there. Okay, so IR does have a chance to reset the front door, but XD is gain control of those railroad cars.
Kind of a good example of, you know, I don't think at any point, you know, XD was like, you know, way down in armor, but I think there was points where IR was kind of ahead in tanks a little bit, especially around the time where they capped. Battle already with an IS-1. You know, where they got a couple IS-1 kills, they were able to push the Tigers up. You know, but XD's, you know, armor was able to stay alive. Like we saw, I mean, I'm just thinking, like we saw Gorilla and Cosmos playing infantry for a while, which is usually, you know, not a good sign. But, you know, they were able to hold on, like hang in there. You know, the infantry were you know, played a big part in capping the point. But now, you know, there's a decided armor advantage for XD. So it kind of shows just kind of good teamwork by them to restack heavies, stay alive. You know, even if you're not having a huge impact, just keep those tanks alive, and you know, now they're going to enjoy probably an a strong armor advantage for the remainder of the game. Just a good play by them overall. Kind of got knocked down a little bit in the mid game, but recovered here to be real strong for their team in the end. Kind of look at.
Can we take a look at the map real quick, Lux?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, so nothing for XD in the CD or really the E column. It's still that same sort of map situation. So IR still does have a chance, but yeah, XD looking good, looking good.
And they've been playing pretty compact across this line. I mean, we haven't really seen much going on in, like, even row 6. So it's really been like a 600-meter front line at most. I don't know if that's deliberate. But that is, you know, for these days, I think that's kind of pretty compact. I mean, even now, I don't even think it's a full 600 meters. But that's pretty compact, yeah. I think. Usually you see longer front lines, especially when you have, you know, angled points like that.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the elevation on the axis side and just those points of movement that are available, right? And so I think maybe multiple XD guys have tried to get across a little bit further south, but just been mowed down or picked off as they try to do anything. But yeah, really compact game.
Kind of makes it funner that way, I think. I mean, infantry, to me, like, playing infantry in competitive isn't really fun. But, hey, what did I say earlier? I said, build a belt. They were watching the stream, right? Like, on delay. They were like, oh shit, guys. Wix was just on Twitch saying you can build a Belgian gate and lay in this fucking exact spot. Right? Like, they had someone on stream that was, like, calling people up, and they're like, dude, this guy's got a good idea. He's got better prep on Stalingrad than we do.
Yeah, that is too funny. That's
right? Because that was like our 30 minute delay has gone by, and like we didn't see that shit till, you know what I'm not saying, but I'm saying, you know what I mean?
That's too funny.
I give out all the tricks of the trade that I can on stream. Like, I'm not hiding shit. If you're a pub player, you want to try to learn some sacred knowledge, I'll fucking spill anything. Spill anything I can on stream.
That's too funny.
So you hear
There's
Stuka?
gonna be
You hear Stuka? Don't move. That's sacred
Yeah.
knowledge. Don't move if you hear Stuka and you're in a tank. Just don't
feel
fucking
like this-
move.
I feel like there's going to be some good memes created about IR building that Belgian gate.
We'll see, man. Not Teacher could end up with 100 kills. We could see a last-minute IR retake with 4 MGs on that roof, and I'm gonna charge him a consulting fee.
1,000 subs to your Twitch.
Every game I watch, people are gonna be like, "We're gonna be playing, but Wix is streaming, so we gotta get that shit up so we can find out what he says we should be doing." They're like, "Oh shit, he was saying the IS-1s are back too far," and Grilla was like, "All right, guys, Wix said we gotta push up. Like, so let's push up." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, T-70 deleted. Is that an AT? The AT gun killed it? What the fuck just killed this thing?
I have no idea, but it was a pretty narrow of a margin shot.
We'll just say
What else went down? That was an IS-1.
it was an IS-1. I don't know what. Fam, I don't know about this tank position right here. What are you doing? What are you doing here? I got questions.
I got questions. So, how many IS-1s do they have up? Like 1 or 2?
Should be at least 2. Yeah, they got one in the back.
Okay,
And they
gotcha.
got the one on point, and I'm sure they're gonna one tick away from another one. Faker and the Flex pulling up a recon.
We have the OP by Artie is actually hot. You see that, Wix?
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what we got back here on Pavlov's.
What are they?
What are they cooking? Ooh, it's the
Oh,
commander.
the commander.
Can you take out the recon tank? Oh, doesn't have to. Faker got it stuck.
Oh. Oh, there he goes. There he
You
goes.
never know. You never know on Stalingrad. He probably drove over this 10 times, before. But this time, a board gets stuck on your tank and... Oh, he got off.
There he goes. There he goes. The IR commander moving his way around. Very
It's an
interesting.
AT gun. Is it in the building? There you go, right on the
I wonder-
balcony. Look at that shit. Outrigger going right through the fucking wall. We can have that, but we can't let people cancel vault. You can build an AT gun with an outrigger going through the wall, but God forbid you want to jump on top of a wall from one side of it. Absolutely fucking not, they said. But that we can have. Here's a Tiger doing interesting thing, or that's a Panzer IV. Panzer IV doing interesting things here, pushing up a little bit, trying to catch some angles.
IR has 10 minutes, really, to start the cap. So
Yeah,
here we
well-
go in crunch time.
Getting down to it, they have this Tiger back here. Maybe 2? Is there a second one back here now? If you don't give a shit about tanks, I'm sorry. I'm not, trying to just watch the tanks, but I think that's an important part of, the state of the game and the match is, who has how much armor up and where are they. So I've been criticized before for caring too much about tanks, but I'm not trying to watch the battles like the fucking kite jousting shit, but we gotta keep track of them. If I could have a tank counter, that would be really cool. If you could have a tank counter up on the screen, just in the corner, that says hey, they got 3 heavies spawned and they have 2. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, that'd be, yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
With B money from the ESPN deal, we'll get the devs to put that in.
Yeah.
IS-1 is now countering the Wix MG spot.
Yeah.
Goes down.
All of them cleared off. Dead body still there, I think.
Aced 2 of them. A twofer. Brothers, even. Their poor mother.
I mean, hey, 11 minutes left, and IR still has a strong chance for a push. But once again, it's going to come down to these armor plays, I think, for that circle pressure as we get closer to the end.
Yeah, I've been trying not to show that. I feel like we looked at this view a lot early on, and like nothing has changed here. That's why I'm trying to go and show what's going on elsewhere a little bit. But this kind of is the key. I think the most key battle is like if XD can box him out of here, that's good for. But you know, it really looks like it's maybe going a little bit in XD's favor at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
They are, you know, preparing. They have a Tiger back here and a Luke's, but I don't think the Luke's is crewed. Abandoned on the side of the road. Ran out of gas. Classic Vermont issues.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see when IR is going to start moving these tanks up because, yeah, it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be interesting final minutes here.
Everybody's waiting for the classic Chinese bonsai charge at the end. Oh,
Stuka coming in.
guessing it's on one of these guys. It's right between them. It got a rep station, I think.
Yeah, to get to one of the rep stations. So the
They
rep
probably
station's still
both got a
open.
little bit damaged in the tracks. Maybe even potentially hull. Poor rep station, man. Rep stations are always taking the brunt of everything. Artillery, Stukas, bazookas. Let's get
That'll
some
be the
HP.
final.
Let's get some more HP for those rep stations, man. Let's make them a 2-hit for Artie or some. Right now, is on a rep station. It's gone. Let's make them survivable a little bit, maybe. You can always build them in a level 3 bunker. Other sacred knowledge. You can fit 2
Oh, yeah,
bitches
that's it.
in there.
Looks like IR is dedicating more to the north here, the points. And XD doesn't have much to respond to, so we'll just have to see if IR is able to overload him. It might make for an exciting final minute here. We have a Rick off the IS-1, I believe. Is that what that was?
I didn't see. I was taking a sip of my coffee.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, the IS-1 going in the little... we have Airhead coming in, Airhead.
My God, dude, it's like, could you like hear these sounds at night?
You know, explain, Commander, you fear one thing as far as sounds go, an Airhead sound.
Yeah. I mean, like, you've called it out before, like, before I even hear you. Like, you say it, and then I'm like, I don't even hear a plane. Oh, there's the plane.
All right, so this will be IR's last Airhead. No more precision strikes left.
This is, like, the third time. Like, I'm assuming maybe the commander's, like, cursor is stuck because this is the third airhead in like, the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah, it's relatively in the same spot, yeah. I'm surprised he doesn't
Necessarily
drop it.
bad, but, like, I don't know. Why exactly there? There's not even anybody there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the idea. So they'll never look where nobody is, but...
I'm surprised he didn't just drop it behind the tracks there.
Uh-oh, Katyushka, look out. Nothing's gonna happen. Kind of curious where it's going. The Katyushka is kind of cool to watch coming in, though.
Six minutes. We have the Lukes rushing in there.
Yeah, this was part of when they kept last time. They had a Luke's rushed in and wrapped around behind here. You can't do that obviously now because of the IS-1s, but that seemed like a deliberate play last time when they did cap. See the IS-1s trying to peek either side of the house at the Tiger up there. Not sure if that's really where the Tiger needs to be right now.
Sounds like a Russian precision. Ooh, takes down.
Was there a Tiger here? What the fuck was this?
The Lukes. He took down the Lukes.
I'm sorry, did they just P-strike a Luke's?
Hey, if you got it, and you don't got a better spot 5 minutes ago, why not use it?
I mean, the Lukes might have been probably a bigger threat than the Tiger back on the hill, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're moving up now. Looks like there's two of them back there. No better time like the present.
Here we go, under 5 minutes. Let's see what IR is able to pull off here.
T-34 back here. Oh, T-34 just went down. Never mind. Let's look at the map real quick, maybe one last time. IS-1 way in the back. Flex tank, recon in the back. Two IS-1s. I mean, this is a pretty good setup. You got, you know, kind of Overwatch in the back, nice and safe. You got a couple guys in the shit here mucking it up. IR is making some progress here, honestly, into the hard cap area. Lots of smoke going out. See if they can burn some spawns. This garrison is back in the same spot it was before when they capped, and I think that garrison was up literally until it got taken down by the cap. So this seems to be a very good garrison spot because it's been very survivable. It's survived a lot throughout this game in that spot. Ooh, satchel off. Just only killed Braz, I think. You see
The
IR making it
chaotic.
across.
Yeah, the chaotic last 330.
I mean, not even Wix's MG spot can see through that.
Yeah.
Look at this view, though. Look at how much smoke you see from up here. You're like, God damn, I could shoot a lot of people if there wasn't smoke everywhere.
Okay, IR has 1 minute to go here.
Yeah, we'll kind of
Where are the
restrict
Tigers?
away from the silliness here. The Tigers are... One's pushing up here. The other one, they can't find the keys, man. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to be... they're probably just waiting for the IS-1 to peek to take out the other Tiger, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like... Just throw tanks away, dude. But and for sure, tanks back there firing, killing infantry can have an impact. To me, your tank will never have as much impact that far away as it will up close. Like, there's things that you don't even easily tell. This is a P4, by the way, not even a Tiger that's pushing here. Impact of a tank up close. Like, it does so much to disrupt the infantry and has so much more of an effect than it can from distance, in my opinion. And there's too many, like, you're losing this game. Like, they're out here repairing or something. I thought I said repairing. They're sitting back there as, you know, the clock ticks and... Oh. That cap progress might have been right before. Oh my god. Oh, it's going
no,
back,
there
so
it is.
doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
So we had a
That
couple
would've been
minutes of
crazy.
intensity there. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, you can't be sitting back there and watching your team lose from 500 meters by the front line. I'm sorry. Like, there's like almost no place in this game where you're gonna have enough impact back there to justify it. My opinion. Obviously, like, all this is easier said. They could have died, but you gotta throw your tank in there, I think, and see what you can do. Because, like, the infantry's here, man. Like, the infantry is close. You know, you don't know what the impact of, you know, one more tank could have had.
Yeah, exactly.
This T-70 kind of behind. IS-1's just driving wherever the fuck they feel like now because the game's over.
But yeah, that's a GG. Congratulations to XD for getting that cat back, right? Against IR and everything, and they came out ahead.
Here's the flex tank. I think True Bob and Faker most of the game. It looks like Crusader joined him. He was kind of playing as infantry squad leader. Just kind of scrolling through, looking at the scores. Bullets tank in the 500s individual. Gorilla's tank around 300, and Mr. Dude doing some work. So holy shit, this has got to be already 2600. That's at least 200 kills. Probably like 250 or more kills. Can Derek at 2,000, so he's over 200. Probably both Artie's over 200 kills. Seer, I think, is a tank. He was at 900. Just kind of scrolling through in case anyone's interested. There you go. XD 3-2 over IR. So IR with the the shocking kind of upset of WTH last week, not able to carry that momentum into a win this week, but really a good showing. I mean, XD's a tough team to beat anytime. So, really no shame in going down to them. It was a close match. They capped. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think they got to look back at that opening, if I'm them, going back 90 minutes and looking at getting those 2 truck snipes and then still not capping. That's kind of insane, honestly. I think they got to look back at how they kind of unrolled there.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty surprising off the opening, and once again, a very weird cap considering IR had circle control, but XD was all to the south. But hey, yeah, whatever works, right? So.
Yeah. So neither team's eliminated here. IR's gonna keep playing on. XD's good. I think they have a bye week maybe now. For winning, but there's going to be a lot more matches tonight. Check the seasonal Discord. But yeah, I mean, XD over IR, I think that's probably what most people expected. Any final thoughts?
No, I think it was a very, very good game. Obviously, just a heavy battle over mid cap, and it was exciting to watch, just to see those big pushes by both teams to get through this, get into strong point right at the end. So that was good.
All right, well, thanks, Smoothers, for joining me. Again, there's going to be more matches all afternoon today, so check the seasonal Discord, see what's playing, and support those that are streaming it. 3-2, XD beating IR. Yeah, so thanks for joining us, and everybody enjoy the rest of your day.